Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the West. Manny Big Swing.
Don't let him do it.
Let me hit you with some shit that's gonna beat the block. Woofers knock like the police in the speaker box. And it's hot on these streets, so we keep a Glock. Off a bottle of OE and we reap a pot. Yeah, you know for sure, we blowing the top standards. Sparking even though I'm a target for cop cameras.
Matthew Ramirez, Santa Clara, California, Extreme Martial Arts.
Okay, man, you're going to be fighting Bellator, and you're going to be fighting Jeremy Murphy. What do you know about your opponent?
So all the videos I've watched from Jeremy, he's very agile, very fast, but you know he does get a little sloppy here and there. So we're just trying to capitalize on his flaws and his little like mess ups, and then hopefully take the fight there. So.
Okay. By you being within the area, man, how do you feel about your fan base there at
I think that my fan base is pretty strong. You know, coming from Santa Clara, San Jose is only like a hop away. You know, and so pretty much like, I have a lot of friends, a lot of people from other places that are actually near San Jose as well. So pretty much like Santa Clara, San Jose is like the hub, and everyone kind of like flocks to it. And I have friends that travel, I have friends that go to college or other places, and they all want to come see me. So I mean, my fan base is pretty strong, pretty confident. Compared to I think Jeremy Murphy's fan base, I don't know how his fan base is, but I know mine comes pretty strong. So.
Okay. All right. You may have the advantage as far as fighting in the Bellator cage because you've been in there before. Do you think you can use that to your advantage versus a person who hasn't fought in there before?
Yeah. I mean, jitters. You know, everyone gets jitters coming to the big stage, I guess. But you know, as long as you stay confident and you know, you find your distance in the ring. I should have a better time than he does. Plus, I already know how big it is, how far I can go. You know, pretty much how much I need to cover distance and everything too. So, I mean, it might be a little challenge for him, but you know, that's what I'm hoping for. You know.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the styles because you're coming out of a Taekwondo school versus I think he's more karate. Let's get your take on that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're both playing two different styles. My stuff is Taekwondo, his is karate. I feel like karate is more like I'll say one-dimensional, but it's more like 1-2 strikes and kind of calm down. I feel like ours is more of like have a variety of strikes. More, I think we're a little more agile. I feel like you notice too, like a lot of karate fighters like Lito Machida, he's more flat-footed, comes forward, presses forward. But you know, as long as you're like Taekwondo, like you're always agile, you're always moving, always hitting the angles, and constantly like giving your opponent nothing to hit. So I feel like that's my advantage compared to his. You know, that I'm more, I guess I'd be more on my toes and keeping you a little more flat-footed trying to press the action, but, you know, hopefully my agility is better than his.
Okay, what do you think the fans can expect out of your guys' fight that you have that night?
I think it's going to be fast. Just straight up fast movement, fast punches. Literally, I think we'd be running around the ring the whole time, honestly. It's kind of like, especially with two small guys, you know, even if you get clipped, you know, it's not as hard as, you know, getting clipped by a big guy, you know? So, I mean, even if we get clipped or not, you know, we're going to hit the ground, come right back up, and do it over again. So it's going to be a lot of exchanges, probably a lot of movement, and just constantly moving, just constantly going at each other.
Okay, cool. Before we fade to black, man, would you like to give a shout out to the people that support you and maybe your sponsors?
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out to Cali Muscle, EMA, Art of Boxing, Lana's Egg Whites, Body by Jose, GFY, Iconic Brands, City Rock, Peninsula Kettles, Creative Cabinet, Self-Defined, and to my friend Dakota. Love you, man.
Okay, and where can the fans get the tickets from?
Oh, they can get the tickets from either at the gym at Extreme Martial Arts in San Jose, or they can get it you can contact me on Facebook, Matthew Ramirez, or you can also get them online, use my promo code, last name Ramirez, Ramirez.
All right, and one last thing, man, one word that you can describe your fight with that night, just one word, what would it be?
Explosive. Explosive.
Yes, absolutely. My name is Jeremy Little Spider Murphy, and I'm from Union City, and I fight out of AKA in San Jose.
Okay, you'll be fighting Matt Ramirez February 18th.
Correct.
What do you know about your opponent?
Oh yeah, so he's a Taekwondo guy. I know that much, and he has some wrestling acumen, and he's a pretty tough, pretty like squirrely guy. Right? He likes to move. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be an exciting fight. He's a great opponent for me.
Okay, what do you think about the different styles as far as you know, the karate versus the Taekwondo? Because most people will state that you are a karate guy.
Well, you know, I've been thinking about that a lot actually. It's one of the reasons I was excited for this fight. It is, in a sense, kind of that old school, right? Like UFC back in the day, where they had one style versus one style. So, you know, in my mind, it's going to be an epic contest. I think, and I'm sure he would agree, that we'll probably have, if not one of the best fights in the night, probably the best fight of the night, because our styles are so different from what you're usually seeing in the cage from most people nowadays. But at the same time, our styles are some of the styles that you see some of the best in the world, right? If we're talking about, for example, Thompson, right? He just fought for the title with Woodley, didn't win, but still, an incredibly, he has a karate background, but incredibly kind of flashy style, a lot of kicks. So if you look at some of the best fighters in the world, they're a little bit unorthodox. And so you put two guys in the same cage at the same time with that kind of feeling, with that kind of energy, makes for an exciting fight, man. I mean, I'm excited for it. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay, here was a question that I meant to ask you was, you're going to be fighting for the first time inside of a Bellator cage, and the cage is pretty big. Matt's fought, I think, twice in Bellator cage. Do you look at that as being an advantage for him? Because you'll find out that the cage is a lot bigger than some of the regional cages.
Yeah.
Your thought on that?
Well, I mean, it could be an advantage, but the thing about it is that the space of the cage, what's hardest is fighting in a smaller cage. That's harder, right? So if you can fight well in a small cage, which I've done, then I think that's the mark of a big-time fighter, a potential champion. Fighting a larger cage, you can kind of, basically strike and get out all day, every day. But you don't necessarily have to fight. So, I mean, that could be to his advantage because I've seen his style. But again, my style is not all that different. So I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think our approaches are going to kind of even each other out in that respect in terms of use of the cage. I don't think that's going to be a huge advantage for either of us, or disadvantage for either of us.
Okay, how do you feel about the fan base? You're still here kind of locally, and he's in Santa Clara. So what do you see? Do you see that leaning towards your advantage or his advantage? Is it easy for you to get your fans here to support you?
I've always thought about that. I was supposed to fight late last year in Sacramento, and I only had a handful of people show up. It turned out that fight didn't go through. My particular fight didn't go through. But at the end of the day, that's nice that your people show up for you and cheer you on. But at the end of the day, they can't get in the cage for you. They can't throw the punches, they can't block the kicks, they can't do any of that for you. At the end of the day, it's still on you. So, I look at it as it's great having my people there. If he has his people there, it's great. If he had more than me, fantastic, right? But he and I still got it. We still got to duke it out. So, again, it comes down to me and him.
Okay. Bellator, man, what's it feel like for you to fight for such a prestige organization? This is one of the top promotions in the world. It's got to be like mind-blowing.
Yeah, no, actually, this was fighting for Bellator was literally on my goal sheet last year. And I was working up to it, and just had some things that didn't go quite my way. So to be able to get it early this year is freaking fantastic. I'm ecstatic about it. It's great to see my goals and my kind of dreams coming to fruition. But then with that said, yeah, it's super exciting. But still, at the end of the day, the way I approach it is it's still a fight. So there's cage, camera, and all this other stuff. There's going to be big-time fight stars kind of just roaming around, people I've never seen except on TV. I'll be like standing next to them, and that's all cool. But again, at the end of the day, it's still a cage, and it's still me and one other gentleman, and we still got to duke it out. So, I can't put too much weight on the fact that it's a big-name Bellator because I still got to do my thing. And whether it's if I was fighting in this ring right here, or if I was fighting at local show or Bellator, I got to be the same guy. I got to be the same fight, approach it the same way.
Okay. Well, before we fade to black, can you give a shout out to the people who support you, or maybe even potential sponsors?
Oh yeah, man. So big love to GFY Mark Mazon. He's been with me from jump, man. I got to give Mark a lot of credit. I might have said this before, but I'll say it again. Mark was a guy that before I even decided to fight, I remember I was in Kung Lee's gym back in the day, just hitting the bag, and Mark was like, "I'll sponsor you," and I was like, "I'm not even sure if I'm gonna fight." He's like, "Well, if you do, I'll sponsor you." That was years ago, right? And he's been with me ever since. So GFY definitely, Cowra Sports Academy, both Union City and Pleasanton locations, taking care of me, keeping my back straight, keeping me on point. Obviously, Pop's Training Camp, obviously, AKA my whole team here, Fit Mind. Mr. Toby at Fit Mind, great guy, helping me stay on point mentally. And Fire Fitness is my company. I kind of promote myself from two different angles. Fire Fitness Training. And I believe that's everybody. Yeah, I believe that's it.
Okay, and where can the fans get tickets from?
Oh, fantastic. So, yeah, you can get tickets from me. Obviously, we're kind of short on time, but if you can holler at me, go to my Facebook, send me a message, get tickets from me directly. Cash will link something up, or PayPal. If not, go online. I'm pretty sure it's Ticketmaster.com.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
Ticketmaster.
Okay, and then use my code Murphy, just like Eddie, but Murphy. I don't know if we're related. I hope so. And use my code, so I'll make sure I get credit. Buy some ticks. I appreciate it. And thanks for the love, guys. Appreciate it. It's gonna be an exciting fight. Make sure there. Again, our fight is gonna be, if not one of the most exciting fights, the most exciting fight of the night. But there's a lot of exciting fights. So let's saying a lot. So you should be there regardless.
Okay, one word to sum up the fight for Saturday night.
Epic.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the West. Manny Big Swang.
Let him do it, don't let him do it.
Let me hit you with some shit that's gonna beat the block. Woofers knock like the police in the speaker box. And it's hot on these streets, so we keep a Glock off a bottle of OE and we.